Hello, my name is Eng Moses Magogo. I'm the president of the Football Association of Uganda and also an executive committee member of CAF. CAF is the body that runs football on the entire African continent. I'm here to discuss a very important topic in my view, and that is how football can be used to solve the challenge we have of the youth. In this country, Uganda, 4,000 babies are born every day. 77% of the population is below the age of 30. And Uganda is one of the top 5 countries in the world with the fastest growing population. Now, when you put together all these demographics, they create a situation of very many young people who are not employed, with a lot of energy, with a lot of time. And for me, I call this a time bomb that if it's not managed very well, it becomes a challenge to the society where we are living. It's not only government, it's not only the youth who are not employed. Incidentally, even those who have genuinely worked very hard have exactly the same challenge. So as a nation, we need to look at a way or ways, one of the ways of solving or trying to find a solution. If you look at it, even you who has worked very genuinely, it will get to a point whereby these young, hopeless, desperate people who must also live a life will definitely look at those who have worked genuinely and think that probably you are the problem why the situation looks the way it is. Therefore, I propose football, I propose sport as a solution that can be used to solve. And what are my reasons? My reasons are that there is nothing that consumes a lot of energy like sport, and genuine consumption of energy like sport. If we put the young people into a situation of playing sport, leisure, but at also competitive level, it brings out the usage of energy more usefully. And I think this is possible because sport is just a talent. It's an inborn talent. And when the young people are given an opportunity to play, eventually compete, then we ASAP or use or consume this energy very, very usefully. Therefore, I position football, I position sport, saying that it's the solution. It's not as expensive as the very many solutions that are being looked at. And for me, I would like to recruit everybody into thinking like me to make a case that we can use sport to solve some of these challenges. Now, when you're hopeless, any situation that comes along with you can be used to consume the time. I've always been joking that the reason why there are very many people going to the Pentecostal churches is simply because there is hope. Because of divine intervention, when you pray overnight or whatever form of praying, probably some of your challenges in life are going to be solved. Maybe you'll get a job, maybe you'll get a wife, maybe you'll get a husband. And that hope carries very many people. But lately, there are very many young people involved in betting. And the reason they're involved in betting is simple, because betting also offers hope. And the hope offered by betting is instant, that you could win cash. Therefore, very many young people are recruited in the activities of betting. But we want very many young people to be recruited in the activities of sport. And there are very many value additions, there are very many values that as a government or as a country we can benefit from sport. But let me be more exact. And I'll take Kampala as a pilot study. This can be done for the whole nation. But Kampala has gotten 5 divisions. And these 5 divisions, just imagine, and I'm being hypothetical here to try and create a solution. Now, we have 5 divisions in Kampala. Just imagine if government decided to construct 2 sports centers with at least an artificial turf for football in each of these centers. And these are 10 centers we are talking about. And using Kampala as a pilot, you would imagine from 6 in the morning with an astro or an artificial turf to midnight. Those are 18 hours. Very many young people are going to play. In the process, they are going to consume a lot of their energy. But at the same time, you'll be creating hope, because naturally, they are going to be emerging elite sportsmen or elite footballers. And we know how much football or sport has turned around very many lives. people coming from a vicious circle of poverty. But in the process, because there's been sport, somebody is simply talented, and then is being offered an opportunity and the facilities, then eventually is going to become an elite. And some of these athletes not only represent and winning honors for our country, but they will also turn around the living. Now, you would imagine, I'll give you examples of places which have been used, known on their own to create very many athletes and also provide an opportunity to very many younger people playing. I'll give you an example of Kawempe. Those who know Kawempe, what they call Kawempe Kutano, it is a ground, a bare ground. Right now there are tracts of sand that park there, but it has produced very many footballers, the likes of Ibrahim Sekaja and so many. But if this is converted into an artificial turf that is managed, the entire community of that area would probably benefit from using that facility. The same thing with Natete Kutan, what they call the Kara ground. The same thing with Makindye Mess. Very many footballers have emerged from this place. Villa Park itself, and then in Luzira. So you would imagine how many athletes. And if you have not observed of late, there's a new emerging business. There are individuals who have put up grounds with lights, and very many people are paying a lot of money to go and access and use this. But there are very many people living in poverty, in the slums, in Katanga, in Kisenyi, who may not have the ability to go and pay. But then if they don't have the ability to pay, it does not mean that they don't have the talent. So for me, I believe that if we position sport, it could be a solution to very many trials that have been done. I've been aware that the government has the Operation Wealth Creation. It looks for younger people in organized groups, and they're given opportunity of money for their livelihood, and they convert that economic activity into a living. Some of them are are doing welding, some of them are using washing bays, but there is football. Football today is an economic activity, and football is already organized. There are very many groups of younger people, call them football clubs if you want, very, very organized, with very, very organized regulations, and undertaking an economic activity called football. In Uganda today, there are over 20,000 registered footballers. Each of these footballers is paid by someone. Basically, there is someone who is playing football and is earning out of it as an economic activity. It could be little money. The fact is that there is money that is being earned by playing football by 20,000 Ugandans. Now, you would imagine that if a properly organized infrastructure system, and I'm talking about Kampala for the moment, would avail very many younger people an opportunity to play, and therefore probably an opportunity to earn. But you would imagine if these organized units are also financed under the Operation Wealth Creation or the livelihood for the youth, then definitely they would undertake the economic activity called playing football. Because when you play football, people buy football. People pay to watch football if it's good football. And it's an economic activity under very organized structures called clubs, managed by the Federation of Uganda Football Association, managed by the Confederation of African Football, managed by the International Federation FIFA. Properly organized economic activity for younger people, where we are sure that their energy will be consumed, and some of the vices that probably will attract our people because they are hopeless, they will come into an activity that gives them hope. So ladies and gentlemen who are watching this short video, I call upon you to join me in this campaign to make sure that we use sport, we use football, and we don't need a lot. When I talk about 2 artificial turfs in each of the divisions, when I talk about 10 artificial turfs or 10 recreation centers, they don't cost more than $5 million in total. And this is about 30 billion Uganda shillings, maybe maximum. And this money is affordable. It can be done. It is a question of the priority. It's a question of positioning what we are saying. The football clubs that are playing in the Uganda Premier League, they are employment centers. They're not different from washing bays. They're not different from groups of younger people organizing themselves into an economic activity. They're organized in a group of younger people, and their economic activity is playing football. because we are aware that there are very many people who pay to go and watch football. So when the football is sold, then this group of younger people under their management earn. And when they earn, they are paid a salary and they get a living. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in this campaign. Let us position football, let us position sport to be able to be looked at, that if it's an investment which is made in a shorter or long time, will not only realize elite athletes representing this country to the benefits that come with that, but also giving hope to very many people who may not end up being elite. I'm not going to talk about the national health budget, that very many young people will be involved in sport. I'm not going to talk about the forex that is earned by the foreign footballers who are living outside the country to the teams that would be coming to play with us. I'm talking about the mass involvement of younger people, giving them hope and creating them into more useful citizens. Join me. Together we can make this. And in football we say, it is our game, it's our country. And I can also say that for God and my country.